It's all about developing and manufacturing products and serving customers, consumers and society in a way that benefits everyone with as little impact on the environment as possible. It's all about sustainability. It's all about caring for people and nature. SCA is a personal hygiene products company with more than 50,000 employees and a turnover of over 11 billion euros. Sustainability isn't just a buzzword, it's an integral part of the business, which makes it competitive and creates value for the company. SCA's ambitions are guided by its code of conduct. Over the years, the company has been widely recognised for its ambitious and serious work in creating sustainable operations. For instance, for 5 years running, SCA has been listed by Corporate Knights as one of the most sustainable corporations in the world. And the Ethisphere Institute in New York has named it one of the world's most ethical companies for 2 years running. To develop and improve environmental performance, SCA adapted and developed the LCA, or Life Cycle Assessment Tool, early on. One person who's been involved since it started in the early 90s is senior scientist Ellen Rieser.
To do a life cycle assessment of a product means that you follow the product from its cradle to the grave. That is, that we study the impacts the product has on all stages of the life cycle. We are going from the raw material sourcing through manufacturing, production, and all the way to the final disposal of the product. This means that we have to collect data for all the processes that are part of the life cycle. We collect data on energy use and we collect data on air and water emissions. And we see how these values impact different categories, such as the global warming. And global warming is also the same as a carbon footprint for a product. In short, this gives us the knowledge of where and how in the life cycle our actions will have the greatest beneficial effects.
When this analysis is done, how do you use the results?
The LCA tool helps us to select factors such as the right material, the right supplier, the kind of energy we use and means of transport. It guides us in the product development and helps us to improve the sustainability of the whole value chain.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you.
Now let's start the cycle from the beginning. Cellulose fibres form an important part of SCA's personal care products. Active sourcing is about seeking sustainable materials now and in the future. The pulp comes from responsible forest owners and mills that are audited and have to answer to the following kind of questions. How do the forest owners manage the forests? How much water, energy and chemicals are used in the mills? And so on. The suppliers are audited regularly. Eric Löfgren from the Environment Department visits their sites to find out for himself.
Well, we visit the suppliers to find out that they're working with safety, health, quality and environmental issues. Things like management commitment and training of personnel and follow-up of targets and objectives. The audit is based on our requirements from the supplier standard, of course, and also the data that we collect for the life cycle assessment, which is another way of evaluating the suppliers. These audits are also an excellent opportunity for us to have a discussion with the suppliers to reach a mutual understanding of what is important.
Let's move on to the production phase. Most SCA personal care factories are certified according to the Environmental Management Standard ISO 14001, though there are a few new production units preparing for certification. SCA is also committed to reducing carbon dioxide emissions from fossil fuels and from purchased electricity and heating by 20% between 2005 and 2020 for all manufacturing units worldwide. Two major issues here are efficient energy use and the reduction and recycling of production waste. Let's have a chat about recycling with the plant manager Marcel Andela at the Gennep mill in the Netherlands.
The Gennep factory has no waste at all going towards landfill. In our waste reclaim area, machines shred the products in such a way that we can split the superabsorbent, cellulose and all plastics. The superabsorbent and the cellulose are, after heavy filtering, being used again in our production process as raw material for new products. Since the investment in this equipment, we have no waste at all going to landfill.
Today, personal hygiene products make up between 2 and 4% of total household waste across Europe. Waste can be seen as a cause for concern or a useful source of energy. According to a Swedish survey, 1,000 diapers can create enough energy to make a 10-watt light bulb burn for 5,900 hours. Christer Långren, you run an incineration plant with a power station linked to it. What's the operation like from an environmental point of view?
We incinerate about 460,000 metric tons of waste each year, and all this waste is converted to energy. We produce some 1.4 terawatt hours of energy a year. If oil is used instead of waste, to produce the same amount of energy you'd need something like 100,000 to 200,000 cubic meters of oil. The thermal value of waste is fully comparable to that of other biomass, such as wood, wood chips and so on. In many cases it's much superior. After all, hygiene products are biomass, and this type of waste does not cause a lot of wear on the facilities. It's first-class fuel.
In future, SCA will continue to do so by improving the material, new design, and reducing packaging and waste. In short, SCA will continue to minimise its impact on the environment and improve sustainability because SCA is determined to be a leading provider of sustainable products and services. It's all about caring for people and nature.